4 students were locked in, but what they discovered that night wasn't an escape route, but the biggest secret that had been hidden in the warehouse for decades. The library door clicked shut. 6:17 p.m. Outside, the rain was falling like it always did in Portland, but tonight, heavier, more insistent. 4 students were sitting in the back corner of the library. Reese Nakamura was 16 years old. He loved reading books very much. Jordan Ellis was absorbed in a book. Henry Natson and Hillary Boris had also drifted off. The sky was slowly beginning to get dark. When Reese looked up, the library was empty. The usual activity was gone. 6:17. The school had closed at 5:30. The door was locked. All exits were locked. Panic had not risen yet, only the first whispers of unease. They got up from their seats and checked the doors. The main exit and the emergency exit were locked. The library had a rule. In order not to disturb other students entering the library left their phones in a box next to the library attendant. They continued walking around. They found the phone box, but no matter what they did, they could not open it. They could not call their families. Their connection with the outside world was completely cut off. The 4 students went to the library supervisor's room with flashlights they took from the emergency shelf. Their goal was to find the exit key and go outside. As the time of being locked inside progressed, a strange fear surrounded them, but they could not confess it to each other. The main corridor was long and dark. Half of the lights were flickering. The building spoke with its own sounds: pipes, heating, rain hitting the roof. Now clearer because there was no human noise. Reese whispered, "The corridor, it feels different." Jordan muttered, "The building is breathing. I swear I hear it." Sam stayed quiet, listened. "Curiosity feels heavy." This sentence can be removed as it immediately follows an identical one, or rephrase it to build upon the previous mention. The ordinary corridor now felt alive, full of history and weight. Every creak of the floorboards sounded like a whisper from the past, reminding them that the building held more than just books. While walking around inside the library, they entered the library attendant's room. Dust motes danced in the beams of their flashlights, and the air smelled faintly of old paper and polished wood. Inside there was a strange cabinet. At first glance it looked ordinary. The color and size were normal, the surface covered in the usual scratches of age, but the hinges were reversed, and something about it made the room feel colder. Reese reached out and touched the wood. A faint vibration ran through his fingers, almost like a heartbeat. While the students were examining the cabinet, Hillary accidentally pressed a small hidden button near the bottom. The cabinet swung open, revealing a stone staircase leading upward into darkness. The shadows seemed alive, swallowing the edges of their flashlights. Henry froze. "No, this is a bad idea. We shouldn't go up there," he whispered, voice shaking slightly. Reese put a reassuring hand on his shoulder, nodding in agreement. But Jordan's eyes were wide with curiosity. "Waiting here is boring," he said, stepping closer. "We have to see what's up there." Hillary hesitated, biting her lip. "I think we shouldn't," she said, shivering. "I don't want to encounter something bad." But curiosity won. The 4 students, with the emergency flashlights from the library, climbed the stone stairs step by step. Each footfall echoed like a distant drumbeat. The higher they went, the tighter the air felt, as if the building itself was holding its breath. Reese glanced back and saw the shadows of the room below stretching unnaturally, twisting in ways that didn't make sense. Halfway up, the staircase narrowed, forcing them to walk in a single file. The air smelled damp but earthy, and small cracks in the stone walls revealed faint glimpses of a light source above. Their unease grew, but so did their sense of discovery. Whatever lay at the top, it had been hidden for decades, and they were about to see it. At the top of the stairs, they entered a basement that felt frozen in time. Stone walls, low ceilings, and a faint smell of sawdust greeted them. Wooden shelves leaned at odd angles, but most were still standing, loaded with metal boxes and wooden chests. Dates etched into the boxes: 1931, 1934, 1938, hinted at decades of hidden history. The students spread out, their flashlights cutting through the shadows. On one shelf, they found carefully labeled records: names, ages, arrival dates, departures, and notes about children who had been adopted or sadly were no longer with us. The handwriting was precise, almost reverent, as if whoever had kept these records had treated them like sacred documents. "It's incredible," Reese whispered, turning a metal box carefully. "These young lives, preserved in this way." Hillary ran her hand over a wooden chest and felt the texture of generations past. "It feels magical in a way," she murmured. "Not scary, just heavy with history." Each discovery added weight to the air, but now it was meaningful, not frightening. They realized that the basement was more than just storage. It was a secret archive, a protected memory of lives that the public was never meant to see. Jordan pointed at a stack of notebooks. "Look at these notes on their progress, letters, stories. This is a sensitive history that requires careful understanding." The students' initial fear had dissolved. Instead, they felt a quiet responsibility. These weren't just documents. They were legacies, lives that someone had worked hard to preserve. They understood why the school administration had kept the basement hidden. Some knowledge required thoughtful safeguarding. As they slowly made their way back toward the staircase, Reese paused. "We can't tell anyone about this," he said. "Not a word." Hillary nodded, her flashlight trembling slightly. "It's not about secrets. It's about respect. We have to honor it." The others agreed. The hidden basement had revealed something extraordinary, a glimpse into lives that had shaped the past, kept safe by decades of care. And now, that responsibility rested with them. At 7:03 a.m., the library doors finally creaked open. Mr. Hendricks, the library attendant, looked exhausted but relieved as he saw the 4 students emerge from the shadows of the hidden staircase. Rain still tapped against the windows, and the gray morning light filtered through the library's tall panes, giving everything a muted, quiet glow. Parents had been contacted earlier, and the principal was waiting. Reese, Jordan, Henry, and Hillary were greeted with worried faces, but the moment they stepped into the open, their tension eased slightly. They were safe. Everyone had been informed, and no one was harmed. But the weight of what they had seen lingered like an invisible fog. Because of the intensity of the night and the emotional weight of discovering the hidden archive, the students were completely drained. Their bodies felt heavy, and by the time they reached the main corridor, exhaustion had taken over. One by one, they found quiet corners in the library and fell asleep on chairs and tables, wrapped in coats and blankets that had been fetched for them. When they finally woke, the world seemed normal again, but they knew it wasn't. The information they had uncovered was sensitive, secret, and deeply important. The school administration had explicitly instructed them not to share the details. It wasn't punishment, it was protection. Henry and his friends walked back through the library corridor repeatedly over the next few weeks, and each time the feeling returned. It wasn't fear, they were no longer afraid, but a sense of emotional gravity, a silent duty to honor the hidden history of the school. Every step echoed with the lives preserved in the basement, and they couldn't forget. Even after the events were behind them, the 4 students felt connected to something larger than themselves. The library was no longer just a place for books. It had become a guardian of stories, of memories, and of secrets that demanded respect. And in the quiet corners of their minds, they carried the knowledge that they had witnessed something extraordinary, something that had been hidden for decades, safely tucked away from the world above. The story told in this video is entirely fictional and is created for storytelling and entertainment purposes only. The characters, events, and locations in the story are not connected to real people, organizations, or real-life events. Note, if you were moved by the weight of this hidden history, subscribe to our channel for more mysterious and dramatic stories, and turn on notifications to never miss a secret. Share your thoughts in the comments below.